Welcome back, everybody, to the Creating Character podcast. This is episode 10. This is where the rubber meets the road. That's a phrase I'm not even sure what it really means, but it accurately describes what we do here. My name is James Willems. I'm a longtime veteran of online media, podcasting, and recently I started dipping my toe into the world of professional wrestling. But my co-host is Scorpio Sky.
Love and marriage go together like a horse. All right, I'm done. I don't know.
Married with Children, huh?
Yeah,
Married
just
with
the
Children theme?
First thing that came to my mind. I don't plan this stuff.
That's a great show. Have you gone back to watch it recently?
No, I haven't.
I went back to the beginning, and it's interesting because they tried to be like a normal-ish sitcom at the beginning. Like, he's not... The whole him sitting on the couch with his hand in his trousers doesn't happen until like season 3 or season 4.
Do you ever sit like that?
Yeah.
It's low-key comfortable.
It is definitely. I do it more if I'm like lying in bed. I don't know how you feel, but my arms get heavy.
In bed?
Yeah, like sometimes when I'm just like lying down, my arms are like feel like the heaviest part of my body. So sometimes if I have a waistband or something, I'll just wedge I'd probably be really comfortable in a straight jacket, but I'll just wedge. Eric, hey, Eric, producer Eric is here as well.
Is this where the rubber meets the road, fellas?
I don't know
what
what it
this
means.
is
I don't
all
know what it
about.
means. I have to think of something every single time. So this is the best I got. That's all you're gonna get.
We finished the last episode, and James went, we got to have like a phrase, just like a one sentence thing that I can like repeat, or like we could tell people as like a log line for this thing. And then he came in with, welcome to the show where the rubber meets the road.
Okay. All right. But of all things that transpired in the first 20 seconds of this show, was that the weirdest thing to happen?
No, he started singing, but now at this point, we're 10 in. I'm used to it.
Yo,
You know?
10 in.
It's crazy.
We're still here. We're not canceled yet.
No,
We're not canceled yet.
Now we're in the territory of this show isn't canceled yet either.
Yeah, they're not beating down the door.
No.
We haven't been kicked out of the studio.
There's no one.
no.
There's no one to shut us down. This is just
true.
us.
This is, yeah.
Before we served other purposes,
Yeah.
and there were people going, we want you to have a show. Nobody wanted us to have a show,
This is
and we
true.
said we're doing it. No one can shut us down except us.
Have I ever told the story of how I ended up on that show? On this show?
I don't know, but it's very in line with this show to talk about that last
It's
show.
a quick one. It's so true. So, 10 episodes in, they're still talking about the last. It's a funny story, right?
Okay.
So Tony hits me up, right? Tony Khan, he hits me up one day and he's like, I don't know if you're interested in outside opportunities, but there might be something for you. I said, I'm always interested in outside opportunities. He said, okay, great. I'll have such and such get a hold of you. Great. So someone gets a hold of me. They set up like a Zoom meeting with a group, and I jump on the Zoom meeting, and this is the only information I had up to this point. And the people on the meeting are like, we're so excited to have you. This is going to be great. It's great. I can't believe we got you for this. And I'm just like, got me for what?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
And they had to explain to me it's going to be a podcast. And so I always thought that was kind of funny.
That sounds about right. I know probably who was in that meeting with you from our side.
yeah.
And yeah, not that you weren't special, but that's like how every meeting transpired was like just shower with praise.
Yeah.
You go, do you know what this person does? Not a clue.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I wasn't going to say no at that point. They spent the first 5 minutes putting me over.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll do whatever at this point.
Have I ever
Not
told the
whatever.
story about how I ended up on the other show?
You have not, and I haven't even heard it.
I'll do it really, really quick.
That's all.
I became the resident wrestling lover kind of at the whole company. I forced them to make a documentary about me training as a professional wrestler. So anytime wrestling came through, I was like brought into the fold. This started to happen. Someone came to me and they said, hey, we're thinking of working with AEW to do a podcast. And I said, that sounds awesome. And we're thinking of Jeff as the host. You don't know Jeff. Jeff is fantastic. Eric still works with Jeff. Everybody loves Jeff. He's a great guy. I don't know if he cares at all about wrestling.
Zero.
But my reaction was like, oh, they were like, wrestling? Cool. Podcast? Awesome. Jeff. And I go, I mean, I guess I'm happy for him. And then eventually I think someone, I don't know who it was, but Eric, you became involved similarly as well.
Hey, have I ever told you guys the story about how I got involved in that last show?
No,
you haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah, please do.
Interesting. A sales guy came to me and he said, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this. Do you know what AEW is?" And I said, "Absolutely." He said, "We might be doing a podcast with them." And I said, "What do I need to do to produce that and make it happen?" And then it was a month and a half of me kicking ideas down and just going, "What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that?" And then they went, "Well, we want Jeff." And I said, "What about James?" And they went, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." And then they said, "We have Scorpio Sky." And I went, "Wait, what?" And then the rest of it was us going, "Let's see about getting together." And Sky going, "No, I don't want to know anything about these guys." And then that's how the show came to be.
I want to be as unprepared as possible. And several seasons of that one, and now we're on our first season. We're 10 episodes in. We're still broke, but you know it is what it is.
Yeah,
That's true.
We haven't got rich yet.
No. But you could, it's sliding doors moment. It could have been Jeff here with you.
Man,
he's great. Jeff, everybody loves Jeff. So, you know, he might not have known. He asked a lot of questions, I'm sure.
F Jeff.
Oh, no. No.
I don't like him.
What are we talking about? We had so much to talk about last week. Your return, your huge return. Everybody loved it. But I feel now we feel like we have this void of things to talk about this week.
I actually feel like we put Sky over too much on the last episode.
That's fair.
So I do want to change the focus a little bit and see if we can put James over. I mean, just a little bit.
That's it. I'm going fishing.
Oh, he's gone.
Come on.
Audio listeners, he walked out. He's gone.
He
took off his shirt and walked out.
James, you've been back in the scene. You've been wrestling.
Back
You've been
in the scene.
In the
Yeah,
ring.
I'm back
You're
in the scene.
You're
Yeah.
back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few matches, kind of put some stories together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been going? How's it been going juggling what you're doing outside of the wrestling with wrestling and then finding sort of your inspiration with your character? I'm sure you're doing a lot outside of wrestling. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely stuff going on. The biggest thing that I've noticed in terms of it, interfering is not the right word, but integrating itself with my personal life is that the group that I wrestle with, MPW, does a show every Friday. And I'm sure if I went to them and I said, book me, they would, you know, I don't know if I'm good enough to be on every single show, but I think that they would be like, we'll try and get you in as much as we possibly can. And they do an amazing job of it. Right now I'm wrestling like 2 times a month, which is more than I ever thought. And when I started, I think I wrestled in August and then didn't wrestle again until November. Like there was time to kind of like think about everything. But now I feel I'm in not even the grind. I'm not wrestling 400 days a year like Hulk Hogan, but I'm still like, it's enough where I don't have that opportunity to think, what can I do for my next match? What should my next match be? I just know I have a match and it has to be good. I'd like it to be good. So I've broken through that barrier. So that's a fun thing. But in terms of it integrating into my personal life, the only thing is my wife went to every single match that I had, extremely supportive. Still very supportive, but she said, I ain't spending every Friday doing this.
Understandable.
She's like, I'm not going to go to every single match. There's other things. It's summertime. There's stuff happening at the Hollywood Bowl. There's other things transpiring. I love that you're happy. We'll make sure you can go to it. I won't make plans on Friday just in case, but there's other things I want to do than watch. She's like, I love your matches. I love a lot of those guys, but I don't necessarily want to watch 2 hours of live wrestling every single week, and I completely understand.
I feel it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that's remotely close to a speed bump, which it isn't at all, that I've come across. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm at the point where Danny, who I work with over there, Danny Devine, he is like texting me and he's like, what's your August look like? You know, what's your September look like? And for me, that feels so far away, but he's got plans. He's got plans. So
I have a question actually. So obviously, you know, we've established you're somewhat new to this now. What would you say is the best thing you've picked up on as you've started to wrestle more regularly, going from that, like you said, you know, you might have a match 1 month and then a couple of months off, and now it's like a little bit more frequent. Like where would you say your best growth has come from?
Changing my mindset has definitely, when I first started, it was like, all right, let's work a short match. someone someone you have time to sit down and work with, and maybe even do like some practice sessions. Just make sure you can take everyone's moves and you know how everything works. And I was like, okay, cool. And then from there then there was this build out phase where my next couple matches, I was like, oh, okay, I'll work this. And then I worked with a guy 3 times in a row. And so I knew him inside and out, so we were going for broke.
Yo.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Phrasing. So by the third one, we were going for broke. Like, really, let's try and throw everything into the ring. And then I had a match after that, and I went, wait a minute, that's to get bigger doesn't mean always to get better.
Yeah.
And so I had Rosas, who we both know. I had a match against him, and it was maybe my best match. I mean, he's
smart guy.
He's fantastic. He knows this everything, and I feel like it'd be almost impossible to have a bad match with him. Yeah. But it wasn't necessarily bigger, more bombastic. I didn't do more moves. I didn't really do it. Just paced right for the time that it needed to. Maybe the 13, 14 minutes that it needed to be, and then that was, I would say, a huge growth moment for me because I realized that. It isn't. I'm not working towards a 60-minute Ironman.
Right.
I don't ever have to have a match like that. I don't know that I ever want to have a match like that. I don't think anyone wants to see that match. But there's something fun about finding a new way to tell a 12-minute match in a show that has a really great card where maybe there's 1 or 2 things that happens in my match that people only saw in that match.
That's cool. That's really cool. Finding ways to step outside the box is really important.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's awesome. And especially if you do get to work with the same people a couple of times and get that familiarity.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I'm a big fan of is working someone who's better than you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, wrestling someone like Rosas where you can learn and grow, because you're not going to get better wrestling guys that are worse than you are because you're in teacher mode. And you can get better wrestling someone at your same level, but it's always better to wrestle up, you know, and pick out a few things of like, okay, you know, like some people can just simplify things and sometimes you don't see it and it's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. I will say because I'm still training, right? Like I'm not just having the matches, I'm still going and training and working with coaches. And one of the things that's interesting is I've been doing it long enough now that people have come in behind me. And I get what you're saying about not being in teaching mode, but that has also shown me some of the holes in my stuff. When you have someone come in who is maybe how you were 6 months ago or more, and their footwork is all over they're rushing, like, you know, it's what is it? If you go slow, it'll look fast, right?
Yeah.
Fast is sloppy, slow is fast, right? And there was a moment I had maybe a month or so ago where we were just kind of doing some training drills, just working a tag team match a little bit, and there was a newer guy in there who's very athletic, desperate to learn, and will be great, but was kind of all over the place. Really like scrambling. And I, in a teaching moment, asked for a tag, got in, grabbed him, pulled myself to the corner and said, slow down. And we both just took a breath together and slowed down. And then we pulled off some cool shit.
That's great.
And there's no way I would have been able, I was that guy 6 months before, and someone else pulled me in and said, slow down.
The game is slowing down for you.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, because when we're out there, everything feels really fast, but it's actually a lot slower. You know, in ways it's a lot slower. Sometimes you're doing things and it's a lot faster than you think it is, but especially if something's going wrong, it feels like, holy crap, this is getting out of control. But when you really, really start to get it, then the game slows down and you can kind of see pathways of, where maybe I go this way, maybe I go that way. Like, and I just think that's what's beautiful about the game. You know, it's just having that. I always think about it in certain ways where there's director mode and then there's performer mode, you know, and I think a lot of people wrestle in director mode, meaning they're thinking about everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And they're overthinking because a director is like, you got to be here, you got to be here, and you got to have this line, you got to do this. Whereas performer, he's executing, right? He knows where he needs to be, but he's not thinking about where he needs to be. He's just there.
It's present.
Yes, he's present and he's delivering his lines. He's not only delivering them, he's performing them. And I think the ultimate goal is to be in performer mode. And I think that's where things kind of get a little slippery, and you'll see like spot, and the guys are going through the spot and you see them thinking while they're going. And that's when people get lost.
Yeah.
And when it's just like, well, I'm throwing this line because I know he has to duck it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm going to try to take his head off with this line. Oh, he ducked it. You know?
Yeah.
That's the difference between director mode and performer mode. That's kind of how I think about it. And it's just, once you can slip into that performer mode and you're in the moment, that is like the ultimate goal.
Yeah. In terms of growth moments too. Yeah. I don't have the vocabulary to be there all the time, of course, but there's a couple times where inadvertently you slip into that moment. My last match that I had was with this great wrestler, Nina, and just eviscerating kayfabe, obviously, on this podcast. But
I've already done that.
I know.
Yeah, welcome to it.
But there's me, like a 190-pound guy, and she's probably 110 pounds, and that's the setup. That's the match, is David versus Goliath.
Right.
And I'm also a real dick. I play a heel and I'm a real dick. And she's wrestled so much more than me, has so much experience, but even she expressed some sort of nerves to me about what we had come up with was she's going to try and do her best. I'm me. I'm going to shut her down like nothing. Right? And then for 10 minutes, I'm going to slam the crap out of her. like what? That's what would happen, right? Like that's what I would do if I want to win the match. I'm just going to slam the crap out of her for 10 minutes. That's the heat. And a lot of her other matches are playing to her finesse, and she always avoids that kind of stuff. Like she slips away at the last minute. Maybe she takes a strike or two, but like she always slips away. She never gets caught and then power slammed. And so she was a little bit nervous about taking all those slams. And so, number one, I think it went really well because I think the slams look really good. And afterwards, she was like, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me because I took all this stuff that I've never really had to take before, and I'm okay. And I feel good. And that made me feel good.
Yeah,
she's like, I feel good. Now, if anyone wants to like do whatever, like I feel safe that I can walk away from
She'll
it.
survive it.
And I'm like, I'm glad I could help with that. And then number two, the storytelling of it was just, she kept kicking out. I would hit her with the thing, and then she would kick out. And it didn't have to be huge. Like it could just be a suplex. Boom. Pin, 1, 2, kick out. And that's all we had to do. The whole match is just back and forth with that. But because it was so open, it allowed us to kind of experiment. It allowed me to go into performer mode.
Yes.
And I'm not thinking about the next spot, right? Like I'm not thinking about what the next thing, or I'm not thinking about how I'm going to get her around for a head scissors or anything like that. I just picked her up and I put her down.
You just did it.
And then she kicked out, and they were like, the audience were chanting for her. And all she had to do is kick out. Like she didn't have to think about anything too. So when you remove away those things, it feels on paper, if you wrote it down, like a kind of a lame wrestling match. But when you're doing it, and both of you are excellent, well, not excellent performers, but both of you are in performer mode. She's excellent. I get to work with her. It tells that story really, really well. And then the only really thing that I was really proud of is at the end of it, when we're supposed to come to a finish, she's going to beat me because I hit her with a move, pin her, pull her up at 2. I pull her up with 2 because I just realized I didn't do my finisher. Yeah. Right? I realized it's done. I was like, the match is done. Yeah. But I didn't do my finisher. But I didn't think that we had earned it yet. So I, on the fly, not discussed with her at all, she's out cold, puppeting her and going like, Nina, I'm going to end the match now. Are you okay with that? And then I heard her go, yes, James. And I'm sorry for betraying you. I'm sorry. I did this back and forth, this puppeteering back and forth, which we hadn't discussed at all. And I was like, I hope she doesn't break during this. But I just had switched in. I was like, what does the audience want right now? They want me to get it more than anything.
Yeah.
And there's a little performer mode. There's a little bit more room for me to squeeze the lemon to get something out. And so I was like, I'm going to try this thing. And I tried it. And there's a great moment where I'm just like flopping her head around. I could be winning the match. It says a lot about me and my character. I could be winning the match, but I'm flopping her head around. Yes, James. You go, all right, it's time. It's over. It's time to end it. I pull her up to her feet. She spins out. Boom, hits me with a move. Boom, hits me with a move. Boom, finisher. 1, 2, 3. I don't even know what happened, right? Like, and it's such a great, like, she just didn't quit. And
big pop.
And so the performer mode it's the things you don't discuss.
Yeah.
That really can shine through. And that's, so growth moment, back to what we've all been talking about. Like, that was a thing. I go, oh, we need to, how do I figure out to create space in these matches so you can do that, you know?
Wrestling is cool when things click.
Yeah.
When you have that click of like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll have a lot of those as your career goes. I still have them. You know, it's like 2 decades in. Like, I'm still having those like, oh, okay. Yeah. I get it now. And it just becomes more and more fun, man.
Yeah. It's really cool. And those are the things that I look forward to now. I have a match in a couple days with someone I've never wrestled before. I know the guy. We've talked to each other, you know, backstage and stuff like that. And I'm really curious because I think this is the first match. It's a heel match.
Oh, that's tough.
So I'm like, there would be days before I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to get to talk to this guy until probably like, you know, 40 minutes before. That was the other thing with Ray Rosas. You know, he got there.
He showed up late.
On time, but like 30 minutes before they opened the door. Yeah. 30 minutes before the doors open. And then sits down and you go, all right, what should we do? And that was my first experience with that. And it felt great. I felt confident in the ring. And so I'm excited to have more of those. I'm not scared.
Yeah, no.
The breakthrough is I'm no longer scared of having wrestling matches and them being bad. I'm more hopeful that whatever we can come up with will be good or great.
That's great.
So
that's great.
And that's the change of mentality. And I think that's applicable to a ton of things, not just pro wrestling, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that crosses over. There's so many parallels between wrestling and life, and then other art forms. You know, I have some friends that are stand-up comedians. I'm sure you do too. The parallels between stand-up and wrestling, music and wrestling, it's just... they are so close. It's really funny. I'm excited to get like a guest on here so we can kind of talk about some of those things, like some of the comedians. Maybe episode 20. I don't know.
Maybe we're getting there.
This is maybe a horrible idea. I don't know. I even know if I like this idea.
I mean,
okay.
We get Will on the show. No,
live performance of Pretty Girls.
Could you imagine?
No.
That would be incredible. Like a radio show.
And we're just sitting there like this.
Just sitting there silently. He brings in like 3 women with him that are also dancing in the background. God, that would be incredible. That's a career moment. There's all these discussions of AI, right? Taking over art, doing the job of artists, whether or not it's voice acting or animation, all kinds of stuff, writing. I wonder, someone must have, if you could ask AI to describe a great wrestling match to you.
That's interesting.
And be like, I want it to be Bret Hart versus someone he's never wrestled. MJF versus Bret Hart. Give me a match. Describe what that match would be moment to moment, and using this as reference and that as reference. I wonder, I mean, it probably could do it. I wonder if it would be like reading it, you'd be like, oh, this is the worst match I've ever seen in my life, or if it could actually recreate it in some way.
I'm tempted to do it right now.
Well, you might be putting yourself out of a job, just a heads up.
Yeah.
You would think that would be, but as soon as they figure out how to get the robots to do the wrestling match, it's over for
I'll
us.
be dead by then.
There you go. Well, I mean, you were talking about sort of the crossroads of like wrestling and these other things like stand-up comedy and like music. And as you guys know, I'm an excellent singer.
Oh my God.
I've actually been working on my voice like a lot. Last time we kind of did this segment, I think that people thought I wasn't trying, so this time I'm definitely going to try. This is the lyrics game,
Okay.
and I want you guys to kind of give it your best shot. If you haven't seen this before, the lyrics game is where I'm going to sing these songs to these boys. They're going to let me know. Name is your buzzer style.
You say sing. You
What?
say sing, which is
Yeah,
interesting,
that's
but
throwing me off.
I don't think I think if we could see the notation of
Well,
thing, it's just like note,
What do you mean?
note, like just
Yeah,
the same thing
Well,
down.
it's like one note and a big flat line. Is that not?
Flat line.
No.
Yeah, I thought that's
Real
what we
quick.
wanted.
Hey, energy drink, get people. This could be you right here.
Wow.
Send us some money.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was like, I'll drink you. I thought he was like saying it to people who were watching this, not like energy drink people. And you're like,
No.
I'll drink you up.
He
And I was
does
like, I don't
ad
know what this
reads
show is anymore.
for the company. He basically does an ad to get an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there's
an ad to get.
Look at how good I am.
He buys marketing space on his own podcast to try and get ads.
I love
Hey, are you a
that.
show?
I love that.
Advertise
He's
here.
like, one for me, two for you.
Are these
man.
J's you're wearing right now?
Surprise!
Yo, you're
Surprise!
wait
This
a
was
minute.
before we said I said a surprise.
I know we got to get to the lyrics game,
No,
but
this
Maybe
is
we don't
fine.
have to.
we got some J's up in here.
What? Oh, look at this guy.
Tell us about the
He's got
J's.
shoes.
Those are twos.
Yeah, they are.
Not everybody's wearing twos.
Well, I am. If you are a fan of this show, you know that Sky is a bit of a sneakerhead. Great taste, lots of shoes, and I am not. I wear generally the same pair of Allbirds every day and sometimes to sleep. So I am not, and it's been a point of discussion for a long time, and I decided to change that.
Man.
So I got some new shoes. Now, I didn't pay for these shoes.
Okay, that's all right.
I didn't pay for these shoes. I was traveling last week, spent some time with a really good friend, and he was talking about how during the pandemic he kind of went shoe crazy. And now he doesn't want them and he doesn't have space for them and he's too overwhelmed to resell a lot of these shoes. And I said, well, what size are you? And he said a 13. And I went, I'm a 13. And he said, wait right here.
Oh, I was just going to say, he just happened to be a size,
Yeah.
22 like Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
13 is big.
He's a big guy. And I was like, oh, well, yeah. He's like, you want them? I was like, I couldn't possibly like sell them. He's like, no, I'm not going to sell these. I'm too lazy.
Wow.
So he just came out with boxes of shoes.
Boxes.
Boxes.
So you're going
of
to rock
shoes.
some heat every
so
episode?
much so that I had to get extra luggage. I had to check a bag of shoes to bring back. Now, I still don't know
Sky's
anything
dream.
about shoes.
I'm
I
hyped.
obviously know these.
These are
right?
like brand new too.
Yeah, because he didn't wear them.
My
He
man
just bought
gave
them.
you some J's.
So I will be at least cycling through the 4 new pairs of shoes that I didn't buy, but someone who does care about shoes did buy, and you can judge them however
This
you
might
like.
spark something in you.
But I had these on last episode,
No way.
and and I was curious if you would notice.
How did I not notice? I'm a noticer.
Well, they were down here. They were low. They were low down here.
I guess 'cause we
but
were
I did
talking
pop,
about me.
I will say,
Yeah.
as soon as I popped it up here, it was about 4 minutes before you went, what the hell are those? Why are those on your feet?
I'm like, wait a minute, are those J's?
But yeah, this is my surprise for the so we'll see. I probably won't mention the shoes.
Yeah, you don't
I'll
have
just
to mention
throw
it.
them in
Yeah,
every
just let
once
me-
in a
let me
while to
notice
see if
them.
you notice.
I am pleasantly surprised.
And then you can tell me about them and whether or not they're cool.
I'm having a look at you guys.
Yeah.
Kind of like real
Brothers?
matchy.
We look like
Yeah,
brothers.
you kind of look like
I
the same
mentioned that
person.
earlier. We got the white button ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got kind of like a samey look going
I've
on.
got the
That's
Stan
fun.
Smith Adidas on, though. I'm not
Is that-
rocking J's.
Mm-hmm.
Got my Stan Smith Adidas and my low. I should have worn nose socks.
I was in Portland.
And a toe ring.
I was in Portland. I was in Portland last week, and they have the Adidas employee store there. Have you ever been there?
Yeah. I've never been. No.
So I went.
That's
And I was
cool.
like, oh, maybe I would get some shoes while I'm there. And I was like, I don't really
You
see
might become a shoe guy after rocking
I didn't see
these.
anything I liked. Then the irony is I went from there to Seattle where I met up with my friend, and he was like, take all these shoes. And I'm like,
it
thank
made sense.
God I didn't buy any shoes.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank God.
Eric, the toe ring came from Kyle Barker on Living Single.
Oh, my God.
Kyle Barker.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how he laughed, kind of, right?
Hey.
And he was on like a talk show or something. They were talking about he was wearing a toe ring. I don't know. That's one of those things that just
It's
lives
a
in my
pull?
mind.
Yeah,
rent-free.
yeah.
Probably watched it in the 90s or something.
Eventually, you'll be so old you'll forget the face of a loved one, but,
But I'll
you'll know
remember
the toe ring.
That and I look like a Yeti in this getup.
Yes,
All
yeah,
right, the
that.
lyrics game. I'm sorry.
Do we? I think we don't ran out of time.
Are we out of
Did we
time?
not run out of time for the lyrics game? Did I save everyone listening and watching at home from
What do
the
you mean
lyrics game?
save? Save? All right. Well, I mean,
Pretty
here's the
Girls
thing.
by
Let-
Will Smith.
Should we
what it
do?
is.
How we got? Should we do a 10 seconds with James or something?
We
feel like
gotta
that was
do a
mine.
10 seconds with James at least, but he started talking about these
Do
damn
one
shoes.
lyric.
One-
Do
one-
one
We'll just
lyric.
do one and done.
All
All
right.
right,
Do one
Let's
lyric.
do it.
One and done. Okay. Come, my lady. Come, my
James.
lady.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
Butterfly, baby, by Crazy Town.
it's a good song.
It's a great song.
Way to go, James. That
Yeah.
is Butterfly.
Eric
by
is the one that
Crazy
told me
Town.
that they don't make any money from that because it's
They
just
don't. They don't
sampled
make
from
any
an
money from that
instrumental
song.
Red Hot Chili Peppers track.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
They, I think Shifty Shellshock is dead. So
He
I
is
think it's
dead.
ended.
He's dead. I
Yeah.
almost put an RIP in one of our previous episodes, and then I looked up and I was like, I don't know.
R.I.P. Ted Turner.
Oh yeah.
I didn't bring this up last time. I should have mentioned. You know, his house is on the TNT title.
Shifty Shellshock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kinda cool.
Shifty
Shifty
Shellshock's
Shellshock's house
Yeah.
is on the
Wow.
TNT. And James
Yeah.
Brown.
It's,
Wow.
it's an
Brown,
apartment
James
in
Brown.
Downey.
I'm beginning to do my thing.
No, Will Smith. There it is.
I mean,
Wow. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to this episode. We are 10 deep in this show, and we're
hey, yo.
okay. Our phrasing. Sorry, Will. I apologize. But we appreciate everyone who is watching, leaving comments, enjoying our cool social clips, which you can get at Creating Character Pod on Instagram, watching on YouTube. And yeah, you know what we haven't done in a long time? Created a character. So if you want us to create a character, make sure to leave a comment somewhere, YouTube, Instagram, letting us know. Give us a name, give us something that we can start off with. And I promise we'll get back to that when we don't have other more important things happening in our lives. Like,
More important?
well,
Oh, boy.
new shoes
Yeah.
and,
You know
all
who
kinds
we
of
should have
stuff.
got to be on this episode?
Who?
Sean Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 10.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean
the-
Spears.
Yeah,
We out,
shout out
baby.
Sean Spears. All right. If you want more of me, James Willems, just search my name basically wherever you get your social posts. I probably won't have posted something in a long time, but maybe you'll see something fun.
At Scorpio Sky, Instagram, Sky Blue, Threads, Scorpio Sky Official on TikTok. I did it.
Nice.
Great work. I'm Eric Bedour everywhere. You can find me. Sometimes I post clips from this show on my TikTok.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And remember, this is where the rubber meets the road.